So, Rajesh, the first thing I wanted to ask you was what's your inspiration to write this book on Proficorn? So, is there a reason why you thought this was an important, important book to be published? What was the idea behind writing this book?
So let me first define what a Proficorn is. So a Proficorn is a startup or a business which is private, which is bootstrapped, profitable, and highly valuable. Now the perception is that you can't build a business without raising lots of capital, and yet the reality is that more than probably 99% of businesses are actually self-funded. You look at it from the Kirana store
Yeah.
or the small teams, consulting teams, to even some decent sized businesses. It's possible to build a business without raising capital. And that's the point I wanted to get across, because in newspapers and all the online publications, all you read is fundraising, okay, everywhere. And my point was that, look, it is possible to do it. And this is not a theoretical thing. I've done it twice in my life. And there are others who have done it. I have 4 stories from other entrepreneurs also in the book. So I think it's for entrepreneurs that your energies should be really spent focused on customers and the product rather than investors and fundraising. Every time you spend with them, you're not spending with your customers. And it's actually possible to build good sized businesses. Starting up is one thing, but scaling such businesses also is possible without external capital.
Okay. So clearly, there is I think a crying need for something like this, because headlines are all about, unicorns, and is about raising capital, and so therefore I think there can't be a better time than a concept like this, because obviously this is very, very important point that you're making, which is to say headlines is one thing, raising capital is one thing, but getting a great product and getting it to a customer and serving a customer is the most important. I think that's really the message that you want to pass on to this whole breed of entrepreneurs who want to do a startup and build companies, right? Should I say that that's the kind of summary that you want to leave a message?
Yes, Swami, and I would add one more thing. It is also about thinking how you are going to make profits. So a business is really only sustainable if you are profitable. You cannot be relying on external capital all the time. So bootstrapping is one thing, but also when you have to scale. If you're not raising external capital, the only source of capital or money for expansion are the profits that you do. So it's a better way to build a business. So when you're as a founder, when you start thinking about how I am going to build a model which is sustainable, which basically focuses on profitable growth, I think you build a better business. You have more longevity in your business. You have greater freedom and control in your business. I think that's more fun being an entrepreneur than perhaps owning a small percentage of a potentially large business. You never know, but which is driven by investors, and their interests change, their thinking changes, and they are basically forcing decisions for you. So you set out to be an entrepreneur, but you end up becoming an employee to the investors. That's, I think, the sort of other part of the story, which we don't normally hear about.
Brilliant.